Okay. Awesome. Ooh. All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. As always, I appreciate it. And, as you guys see as on the title of the video, I'm going to do Yankee talk, which I haven't done in a while. I believe my first ever official video, well, my first unofficial video, my second video in total, I was talked about the Yankees. I had a long video. I appreciate you guys bearing with me with that long video. I know it was about a half hour long. I just went in through everything about what my opinion was on players and stuff. So, and then now in this video, you guys have a good idea of what the Yankee players I like. And I'm going to go into what they were doing in this offseason. It's been a pretty busy last couple weeks for the Brian Cashman and the Yankees. That's for sure. They made moves. They stayed quiet for most of this offseason. And now, once the new year hit here in 2021 in January, they started to make some moves. So I'm going to go into that now. And, yeah. And I'll figure out if the Yankees, if it's good or bad for the Yankees. And I'll first start off with them re-signing DJ LeMahieu. That was what I was talking about in my first video about the Yankees. Them re-signing DJ LeMahieu is a must. They did it. Thank the Lord. And we got him for a price that I thought was cheaper than I thought he would go for. He was asking in the beginning of the offseason, he was asking for about, over $20 million a year. And I was just like, wow, that is a lot. But hey, he's been your MVP the last two seasons in a row. I mean, the guy has had a 346 average the last 2 years with the Yankees, a 398 on-base percentage, and a 554 slugging percentage. Like, you had to pay him. Give him a blank check. Like, that was my opinion on it. Like, you had to give him a blank check there. But the Yankees got less than he took a discount with the Yankees, so they were able to spend less on him than I thought they originally were. They got him for 6 years, $90 million. That's about $15 million a year. And, yeah, I mean, the 6 years, it's a lot for someone who's 32, going to be 33 in July. But, hey, like I said, he's your MVP, the last two seasons. He's your leadoff hitter. He starts it off. He brings the on base, he gets on base. He's an elite on base with a lead on base machine. He's a hitting machine. That's what they don't call him lay machine for nothing. And he brings Gold Glove defense, like I've explained before, and that was a must this offseason. Getting him at the price that the Yankees did was a huge success there. And kudos to Brian Cashman to be able to do that. It fills up second, it keeps second base intact. You're a leadoff hitter there. And the guy that makes probably the most contact on that team, which obviously in major leagues, during the postseason, that's what you need. You need guys that put the ball in play, that don't strike out against elite pitchers, because that's who they face in the postseason more times than not. So DJ coming back, awesome. I'm so thrilled about that. I'm ecstatic. And then the other moves that they came with, unfortunately, the only sad one is that Masahiro Tanaka did not re-sign with the Yankees. He went back home to Japan, pitching for the team that he originally pitched for before the Yankees, the Rakuten Golden Eagles. And listen, he was a solid Yankee for 7 years. I tweeted, thanks Tanaka for 7 solid seasons and good luck in your home in Japan. And it looked like he just wanted to go back home. I mean, he was going to take a discount for the Yankees than other major league teams, but still, $15 million he wanted. I guess Cashman's like, we could spend that. We can allocate that money to a couple other guys for cheap. So that was Cashman's plan. I can't knock that, but I appreciate Masahiro Tanaka. Thanks for the 7 solid seasons. You were, a really good Yankee, 2-time All-Star. He was inconsistent in the regular season, but sometimes he was lucky and then he was unlucky for some years. But when the postseason mattered, he was as good as you can get. I mean, you can look at the starts that he had against the Indians and then the Astros in the 2017 ALCS, and then also how he pitched against the Twins in the ALDS in 2019. And then in 2020 as well with the Astros. I mean, and then also in 2019, with the Astros and the LCS then. he was big as it can get. I mean, he had one hiccup in the wild card series against the Indians this year. That was his only hiccup on his stat line for postseason in his career. But hey, no one's perfect. He put in 7 solid seasons with us. He was a classy guy. Everybody on the team loved him. They're all sad that he's gone. That's a decent loss in the Yankee rotation. But the other guys I'm going to name, I think could possibly make up for that. But I just want to say thanks Tanaka again for 7 solid seasons and best of luck in Japan at home. So after that, I'm going to go into another loss that the Yankees lost. They lost a bullpen arm in Adam Ottavino first. I understand that Adam Ottavino was making about, I'm going to say like $9 to $10 million a year, I believe. His contract was 3 years, $27 million, so about like $9 million around there. So yeah, he was making $9 million a year as a reliever. That might be a decent amount. But at the same time, I understand why you had to cut that off the payroll, because you want to get under the 210, which is a luxury tax in Major League Baseball. I believe so in 2021. They didn't make it official yet, but Brian Cashman says that him and Hal Steinbrenner want to get down to under 210 in payroll, $210 million. I understand you want to get rid of Adam Ottavino for that. You have to like cut it, but like you're treating him to the Red Sox, your arch rival. Like, why would you just dump him to the Red Sox? And now they get a solid relief arm. And then you also say, oh, well, we don't know if he was able to pitch here in New York, if he fit well in here. I mean, he's from Brooklyn. He grew up a diehard Yankee fan. That just didn't make any sense to me. I'm not going to get too much into that, but that's a little bit of a head scratcher to me. I don't understand that at all. I get it. You need to trade, if you got to trade him away to relieve some cap, get some cap back. But to trade him to the Red Sox, your arch rival, I don't know. I don't know. That's just weird to me. Especially, Ottavino. Everybody on the team liked Ottavino too. And he was a solid reliever. He had a 1.9 ERA in 2019 in a full season. And then last year, he had a 5.89 ERA. I get that. But take away that relief outing when Aaron Boone just left him in because the Yankees were getting destroyed in the game, where he gave up 6 runs without recording it out. So you take away that start. He goes from a 5.89, relief outing. He goes from a 5.89 ERA to a 2.98 ERA. That's nearly 3 runs taken off his ERA if Boone didn't leave him in as long. Maybe he would have been over a little over 3 ERA because he would have gave up a run or two before Boone took him out. But they just left him in just to do mop-up work. I don't know. But, it didn't make any sense to me. And then they didn't use him in the playoffs. And everyone's like, oh, well, Adam Ottavino can't get the big out. But he never got a chance to in the playoffs. They were using Johnny Lasagna and Michael King, Nick Nelson, and all these guys. Obviously, Zach Britton's elite. I get that. So I understand using Zach Britton. But they were using, Johnny Lasagna in the wild card game, in a big spot over Ottavino. Ottavino wasn't that bad. He really wasn't. He has a high walk rate, does walk guys, but his strikeout, his pitch repertoire is just elite. He has one of the nastiest sliders in the league that is legit untouchable. He has a high K rate. I understand he walks 4 dudes per 9, but a lot of most relievers do that. But you can't look at his ERA from last season, especially in the shortened COVID season, and be like, oh, well, he's not the type of pitcher that he is for us, that we thought he would be, and we don't know if he's a right fit here in New York. Come on. That just doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever, they relieved they got some cap room back, even though there's no cap in baseball, but to get under the threshold of 210, I guess this is the move they had to make. I just didn't like that he went to the Red Sox, and you're giving Boston a solid relief pitcher. Then after that, I want to go into the Yankees signing 2-time Cy Young Award winner Corey Kluber. I mentioned that in the Met video a little bit about a couple weeks ago. I didn't get a chance to do a video yet on that, so I want to go into also Corey Kluber. Corey Kluber has only pitched in 8 games. He started 8 games in the last 2 seasons combined. I get it. He signed for 1 year, $11 million. He only wanted a 1-year deal, no matter what ball club it was. He wanted to try to prove himself so he could possibly get a big contract again following this season. So the Yankees were one of the teams that offered him around that $11 million. There were other teams on him, but he chose the Yankees. But listen, I think with Brian Cashman, if he knows something that we do, then God bless the man. So, I mean, if he knows something that we don't, then God bless him, and he's the greatest GM ever. With him, and I'll get into Jameson Taillon that the Yankees traded for a couple of prospects that aren't that great. But if with Taillon and Kluber, these deals that he made, the trade and the signing, like it's going to come down to, I think, for Cashman next year, if this hits rock bottom with these two and they're continuing to get hurt, because these guys have gotten hurt the last 2 seasons, if they continue to get hurt this whole season and they're hurt and the Yankee rotation is very thin, then this might lose Cashman his job. But if he hits on Taillon and especially Kluber, like he might be one of the best GMs ever. Like that's how it's going to be for Brian Cashman. This is going to be a career decision with Corey Kluber and Jameson Taillon. So with Corey Kluber, in 2014 to 2018, this guy was legit, no doubt about it. At worst, the 5th best pitcher in baseball. This dude was probably top 3 in baseball, if you asked me. From 2014 to 2018, the guy averaged 10 strikeouts per 9 in the 5 seasons with the Cleveland baseball team, and he also had a combined 2.84 sub-3 2.84 ERA from 2014 to 2018. I mean, this guy was legit as dominant as you could possibly be in that 5-year span. I mean, Kershaw and Scherzer were probably the only guys that may have been better in that 5-year stretch. But it's literally like he was an absolute monster. And yes, he only started 8 games the last 2 seasons. Only pitched 1 inning last year and got re-hurt again. And then the year prior, he had elbow injuries. I get that. He was hit on the line drive, I believe, in 2019. So I don't know if I would be able to call Kluber injury prone. You get hit on a line drive in a game with a ball. It's not like he just had a naggy shoulder injury, an arm injury. I don't know. But he's worth a shot. I mean, if you can get, even if you don't even get that old Corey Kluber back from 2014 to 2018, you get like a 65 to 75% version of that. That's a huge success for the Yankees, man. Especially because they need to protect Garrett Cole, who's the ace of the staff, in the rotation. If Kluber could do that without and not get hurt, that like I said, huge success for the Yankees there, and they would that would be a huge plus. But again, it's a high risk, high reward. That's what it is here. And listen, the high risk is that he continues to get hurt, and it hurts the Yankees because they're thin in the rotation. The high reward is he gets into that 2-time Cy Young Award form, or even like I said, 65 to 75% of the old Cy Young form of Kluber. That would be a huge success for the Yankees, and that's what we got to pray for as Yankee fans. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. Like, I'm looking forward to see Corey Kluber in a Yankee uniform, that's for sure. So we'll see there with Kluber, and then now we have Jameson Taillon. Like I said before, the Yankees acquired him from the Pittsburgh Pirates for 4 prospects. None of them were like in the elite prospects that the Yankees had to give up. The highest guy was Miguel Ajor, I think his name was. I don't really know of him. I heard of him before. Don't really know much about him. I looked at his stats and a couple of other guys. They're not really projected to be stars in this league, so it's worth the risk for the Yankees trading for Taillon. He's still on a team-friendly contract. He's entering his age 29 season, so he's still somewhat young. Unlike Kluber, Kluber's entering his age 35 season, so I guess that's why there could be more risk with Kluber. But with Taillon, I think there's a little less risk there. Yes, he's had 2 Tommy John surgeries already. He hasn't pitched a full season since 2018. I get it. But this guy is literally, he's a solid pitcher. He's a solid middle-of-the-staff guy who has upside to be a number 2 in this rotation. Garrett Cole has preached about him because Garrett Cole was a former Pirate. He was brought up in the Pirate system just like Taillon. And Garrett Cole literally had similar numbers to Jameson Taillon when he was a Pittsburgh Pirate. With the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think they Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm a little close to the mic there. Didn't realize that, but with the Pittsburgh Pirates, I think they teach their pitchers in their farm system and even in the big leagues to pitch to contact. We've seen it with like Charlie Morton would be a Pirate. He was not a strikeout guy, gave up a lot of contact. But when Garrett Cole was a Pittsburgh Pirate, he averaged in his 5 seasons there. He averaged 8 strikeouts per 9. He had an 80% contact rate, which is league average. So Garrett Cole averaged 8 Ks per 9 and an 80% contact rate, like I've said. That, like I said, is average. It's good. It's very good. But it wasn't elite like Cole has been the last 3 years. When he's with the Astros and Yankees now, he's in the low 70s with contact rate. And he's striking out 12 guys combined the last 3 seasons off Pittsburgh. So he went from 8 Ks per 9 to 12 Ks per 9 since leaving the Pirates. Listen, I'm not saying that Jameson Taillon's Garrett Cole. He's clearly not. But I mean, you can't assume that he's going to be Garrett Cole. But seeing Garrett Cole and Charlie Morton have a higher strikeout rate off of Pittsburgh, granted, I know they were at the Astros. We don't know if they were cheating or not. The pitchers were. We know the hitters were. Now, excuse me, they're coming out with something that the Astros could have been doctoring balls, and they were teaming up with the Angel pitching, the Angel clubhouse manager who gets the field ready and gets the balls ready. I don't know. I'm not going to go too much into it. I didn't do enough research on that, but it could be that the Astros were cheating with their pitchers as well as their hitters, but we don't know that for sure. But I don't see a reason why Taillon, can't get better with the Yankees and give up less contact and strike out more batters. Because I'm going to give you Taillon's numbers for the 4 seasons combined he was with the Pirates. He had a 3.67 ERA. That's very good. That's a very good ERA to have in Major League Baseball. So with Jameson Taillon doing that, he also had 8 strikeouts per 9, the same amount of strikeouts per 9 Garrett Cole had with the Pirates. Garrett Cole probably struck out a little more batters because he had an extra year. He had more innings as a Pirate than Taillon because Taillon has been more hurt. Garrett Cole has not been hurt in his career. But 8 Ks per 9 is literally the same as Cole was, and 2 walks per 9, which Cole was around that too with the Pirates. So 8 strikeouts per 9 and 2 walks per 9 Taillon in 4 seasons as a Pirate. It's pretty damn good, and he had an 80 contact rate. He had the same contact rate as Corey Kluber. I mean, not Corey Kluber, excuse me, Garrett Cole. I just wouldn't see, as long as Jameson Taillon is healthy, I don't see a reason why he can't even have better numbers than he did with the Pirates. Maybe the ERA could stay the same, or only because Yankee Stadium is a hitter's ballpark, whereas PNC Park, I think it's PNC Park still, where the Pirates play, is a pitcher's ballpark. So, but I mean, his strikeout and walk per 9 ratio, I think that should be honestly at least the same at worst when healthy, if not better. So I think Jameson Taillon, that's worth the risk to the Yankees too. He's, like I said, on a team-friendly contract, and there's nothing to lose here with that. There's just more. You can't have too much pitching. So if you're going to have guys that are injury-prone, you might as well sign a decent amount of them who have upside. And Corey Kluber, I think, still has the upside, even though he still has downside because of his age. But Jameson Taillon still has upside to me. 29 years old. I understand he had 2 Tommy John surgeries and he's been injury-prone. I get that. But it's worth the risk. It's worth the shot for the Yankees, especially when you lose Tanaka because he wanted to go home. And James Paxton is going to want a lot of money. He's still a free agent, but he's also hurt, so it's not worth that to the Yankees. If they're going to sign a guy or trade for a guy that's hurt, you might as well try to get them for cheaper. And I can tell you that James Paxton's going to go for more than $11 million per year. Kluber went for $11 million a year. Paxton's going to go for more than that. That's a given for me. But I understand Paxton is a little bit more reliable, but he gets hurt himself too. So you're losing him. You're losing J. Happ, who's entering his age 39 season. So obviously he signed with the Twins for about 1 year, $8 million. But he's gone. But getting Kluber and Taillon for, I guess Kluber is a team-friendly contract of 1 year, $11 million. It's a little decent amount. I mean, you're paying to hopefully get his past results, but we'll see. But him and Taillon, it's definitely worth it. Like, there's no doubt about it. Like, worst case scenario, it doesn't work out, but then Cashman does get fired. I get it. Like, I feel like Cashman would probably get fired if both these moves don't work out and the pitching is abysmal. And I get the Yankee fans are always like, oh, we need to get reliable pitchers, blah, blah, blah. But it's going to cost a lot of money to get a stud pitcher. Like, what do you want? Like, the Yankees got Garrett Cole. That's the stud guy we got. 9 years, $324 million. He is the highest paid pitcher by far. You can't get all the stud pitchers, so it's worth trying to get guys for a cheaper amount, like Kluber and Taillon. We lost the Tampa Bay Rays, who had about like a $40 to $60 million payroll last year. So buying players is not the answer or solution at this moment. We got Garrett Cole. That's the main ace. We needed the ace. We got him. I think we overpaid for him a little bit, but in my opinion, he's the second best pitcher in baseball. We needed an ace. Now, if you get Taillon and Kluber now, if they could be middle of the rotation guys at worst and not get hurt, that's a huge success for the Yankees this year. I think they're going to do fine. Their offense is elite, as we always do, especially with re-signing DJ now. We just need Judge, Stanton to stay healthy. We need Gleyber Torres to have a bounce-back year. And Gary Sanchez needs to desperately have a bounce-back year. If Gary Sanchez could just hit 240 with 30 home runs this year, all us Yankee fans would sign up for that. We would sign up for that. And that's what the Yankees need in order to try to get to the World Series this year. The goal is World Series. We have to get to the World Series. I understand it's been 11, 12 years or so since then, since 2009. It is time now. I get it, and I know the patience is running out for us Yankee fans and most of you Yankee. I get it, but we have to be a little patient here, and we can't worry about being the most, have the highest payroll and keep buying guys because it clearly hasn't worked. We lost to a team like Tampa Bay Rays who were bottom of the barrel in payroll. So if you can get guys like Kluber and Taillon for cheap and they work out, Cashman looks like a genius, and we didn't have to worry about overpaying for these guys. So I'm hoping that works out. I still think the Yankees would need another reliever. That's just me. I don't know what the cheap guys are still out there. I understand David Robertson they can probably get back. I don't know, a former Yankee. I don't know how much he would be going for. I think he would go for really cheap because he didn't pitch at all last year because he was hurt. If we can get him for cheap again, he becomes the old D-Rob that the Yankee fans know and love. I think that could be a success too in the Yankee rotation and for the season. But we'll see there. It's going to be interesting. I'll keep you guys posted more on the videos again. And if the Yankees go after acquire another player, I'll keep you guys posted. But it should be fun. I can't wait for baseball season right now. It's January 31st. Tomorrow will be February. I hate the month of February. We have the Super Bowl coming up. I'll make a video at the end of the week of my Super Bowl prediction. I hope you guys will enjoy that. Just like I hope you guys enjoy this video. And but I'll definitely make a Super Bowl prediction video and talk about the Super Bowl in my next video. So stay tuned with that. I appreciate you guys watching this. Let's go Yankees. Have a good rest of your day.